Arraial is a really fun, competitive 1 to 4 player game about placing polyomino tiles of varying colors onto your parade route street board. Now, the theme there might get lost because essentially it looks and feels a lot like playing Tetris, the old video game that a lot of us are familiar with. In this case, though, it's played with a dial in the center of the board, and everyone has their own street board or vertical board of like grids with squares on it in different positions facing that centered dial. 3 different polyomino card pieces get placed on that dial, and on your turn you can spend your 3 actions to either rotate the dial clockwise 1 space or 90 degrees, and thereby changing the orientation of how you're going to be able to place that piece in your street, or you remove the card and place the piece in your board. And just like Tetris, you kind of place it from top to bottom, and when it hits something, it has to stop. You can also, though, make it move just 1 or 2 notches over if you can fit it into your existing structure. You're trying to make different groups or patterns of different color pieces. Your goal is to get at least 2 together to make a color group, and that scores you a visitor meeple. These are wooden colored pieces that stand on your board, and they're there to celebrate, and they'll score you a point at the end of the game. Now, if you have the single largest color group in each color, you get a double visitor meeple that gets to visit and stand on your board, and that'll be worth 2 points at the end of the game. But those double visitors are constantly being moved from player to player whenever someone makes a larger group. Also, you don't want to max out your board like in Tetris. If you get to the top, and you hit this banner, which it starts kind of in the middle of the street, and then as you complete full rows like in Tetris, this banner will go upwards, giving you more space to work with. But if you hit the banner, then you lose the benefit of completing rows, because every time you complete a row, you get a special visitor that goes on that banner tile. But if you knock the banner off, you lose all those visitors. So there's 3 rounds that you play through. So at the end of a round, once you've gone through all the polyomino cards, if someone has a banner removed, they lose those visitors they might have earned. But as long as you still have your banner there, any visitors that have collected as for each row that you've completed, you get to now add to your street, and they're going to be worth points at the end of the game. So you play 3 rounds of this, and it gets harder in the final round because you're forced to take at least 2 polyomino cards at the final round. In the first 2 rounds, you're only required to take 1, and your other actions could be just to rotate the dial. It's a lot of fun, and it looks very bright and colorful, and if you're a big fan of polyomino tile placement games, collection games, and big fan of Tetris and want to play it competitively on the tabletop, there's really no better game for that than Arraial. If you're interested to find out more, I do a full review on the channel and a full tutorial of how to play, so check it out. Arraial, it's a lot of fun.